Hello everyone. Today is Monday. So it is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and we are launching the first episode of Mompreneur Mondays. So of course that means I'm a mom. But let's backtrack. So let me introduce you and let you know who I am and a little bit about what I do. So I go by Zuri. So Zuri means beauty. And I am a mommy of a beautiful, smart, wise, funny, charismatic 4-year-old. And becoming a mom has pushed and elevated me to become the best version of myself, to always push forward and remain conscious to healing, not only for myself, but for her, for future generations, for other family members, and so on and so on. So I was inspired. I'm part of this group, Black Girl Magic Creative Series, because I'm a creative. I'm a very creative individual, and I pride myself in always working to push myself forward despite obstacles that come. And this is true just in day to day. But when you become a parent, it's even more heightened, because now you have to constantly think of not only yourself, but you have to think of another individual as well, and not even including if you have multiple children. So I wanted to come on here today and share some valuable tips for today on how to just stay grounded, whether or not you're a parent, whether or not you're working during this time, or no matter what's going on. We all are aware of this shift that's what's going on dealing with this pandemic. A lot of people say pandemic, but we all are aware of this shift that's occurring with this pandemic. And it's like the world has ended, literally, and a lot of us don't know how to proceed, how to move forward, because this is something that we have never faced before, never have experienced. And so we're unaware of how to truly deal with this situation. And so some valuable tips, I just want to leave you with 2 or 3 tips today that we can utilize throughout the week until next Monday. And so I wanted us to take a time to, throughout this week, I want you to get an accountability partner. It's important to get an accountability partner because we all have goals and we have dreams. So whether or not we're still working that 9 to 5 and want to continue that 9 to 5, and or we started a business, and or we just been stagnant. So there's 1 to 3. You're either still working your 9 to 5, you want to be an entrepreneur, or you've been feeling stagnant. It's important to get an accountability partner so that you always are held accountable and held to a higher standard to always remember and move and push towards your goals that you have. So that's first, accountability partner, no matter what area that you're in. The next tip that I have is to always remember to stay in alignment with your goals by always pushing for and completing a task that adds to your goal. So if your goal is to create a webinar to inspire people, or a podcast, so then now your goal is a webinar or podcast, okay? But then you have to remember that there's always a journey in order to get to that point. So, and during that journey, because we don't think about it, like when we set goals, we don't think about the journey. And so when we're in the journey, we get lost. We're no longer in the present. It's hard to move forward. We become stagnant. Accountability partner, but we become stagnant. So not only do we need an accountability partner, but when those days when our accountability partner is not there and not available, we have to learn how to look within and push within ourselves. So one way to do that is to always remember, when we set a goal, we always have to remember the journey and the process during there. And we also it's important to always write down the steps that it takes in order to get to that goal, so that we can learn to be present and actually enjoy the journey. So, for example, podcast, webinar is the goal. So then you know that you have to now find platforms to actually utilize. You have to think of a target audience. You would have to think of material and content. How often do you want to actually present material? What type of material? What type of subjects? How will you actually get your information out to the audience? So then once you have that, now you know your target audience. Then you move forward to how will I get this out to my target audience? Especially during this pandemic, how are you going to get out there? We can't even really go and have face-to-face contact. And the great thing right now is that we have a lot of virtual enhancements. So now you can go on canva.com, canva.com, free. You can create a quick little flyer. So then you can use they have where you can, it's so many flyer options. So you can do that, or you can find somebody that you know and barter service. And even hi. Good, how are you? Thank you. You can even barter a service and even learn how to utilize the skills that you have, so that you're not actually going out and spending money. You're actually saving by utilizing the skills that you have and offering a service and seeing what someone else has to offer and seeing how you can balance off of one another that way. So you can do that. That made me lose my train of thought. Okay. The journey. So the podcast, and see, I'm at work. The journey, the goal is the webinar and podcast. I have to start over. Journey is the webinar and podcast. The first step is to find your target audience. Then once you find your target audience, then you have to learn how to get out to there. So that's how I got to the bartering. So then you find people on the internet, and then you can barter with them, or you can actually run ads once you go to canva.com and present your own flyers. Then once you're there, then you just begin to learn and find your niche and figure out, now you not only have content, and now you not only have your content being pushed out to your audience, but then you have now reached your goal of having your podcast or your webinar, and then now you're thriving, and then you can even begin to consider creating an income for yourself. See, I should have made it go. I just sat on this chair and it looked like my butt is wet. Anyways, but yeah, just regardless, it's just important. You see, I didn't create this, but mom slayed too, because I'm a slayer. It doesn't matter what I look like. I'm at work right now. I moisturize my hair underneath. You got to multitask. You need to do what you need to do. It's important, because your life is not only dependent on it, but somebody else's. Whether or not you have a child or not, somebody else is relying on your vision, your purpose, your light, your everything. This is why you are here. So we always will have, whether or not we have children, we will always have somebody who is reliant on us and or looking up to us to present ourselves to our highest, because what we have, what our gifts are, what our services and what our calling is, will now help and add to balancing out and creating something healthy towards the next generation. So don't diminish yourself, even if you're not a mom. This is coming from anybody in this world can benefit. Man, woman, child, anything. Just whatever your goal is, just remember to always have an accountability partner that you check in with. But then in the meantime, when you can't meet up with, if you say every week, don't be bothering them, because they still have a life too. Okay? So you have to understand that when you get an accountability partner, they have a life as well. So when you have your weekly check-ins, or even your bi-weekly or your monthly check-ins, during that time, you're also writing down your goals, and then remembering the process and writing down the process, and then writing daily tasks in order for you to go towards that process. Or even one other thing, we need to, when it comes to educating ourselves about things that we haven't educated ourselves, like sometimes something that gets us in a rut is not only, remembering that we come with this trauma. We come with it. Matter of fact, I'm going to wait till it's just like we come with this. Let me just go brief into it. We come with this trauma. So then we have to remember that we'll always have trauma that we need to heal from, because when we heal from one thing, we'll realize we had another trigger. So it's going to always be something that we're always going to need to be healing from, because we always have a deeper level of consciousness. Because remember, we only use certain parts of our brain. So when we only use certain parts of our brain, of course, there's going to be different pockets that we haven't even realized that will be touched and wasn't even there and suppressed, and we don't even know. So then it's important to just remember exactly who you are. And that's probably what I'll do next week. Next week, I will just talk exactly who we are. So I just briefly touched on that. When you're dealing with trauma or some baggage or pain, and it's hard to move forward when you have these goals, the first step is to get the accountability partner and to remember, write down your goal, but also write down the journey to the goal so that you can actually do that, and ask questions. So thank you for today. This is a long video, but I get excited about this stuff because we can all benefit from being wise and being healthy, and like just begin asking questions, because somebody may know more than you. And when you observe and realize people know more than you, you don't find it any jealousy, anything toxic or anything unhealthy. You begin to realize, I can learn from this person, and not only can they learn from this person, but if they're making money this way, then I can see what works for them and find how it incorporates and enhances and connects to my life, my lifestyle, my choices, and begin to create and make it my own. And then I can be doing the same exact thing. And not only that, I will also begin to inspire somebody else. Don't worry about somebody trying to take whatever you think that they got from you. I heard this. Don't worry about somebody trying to take your dream or your vision, because nobody would ever have your dream and your vision, because no one would ever be you, even if people try to act like they are you. So with that in mind, you have to go into it bold, confidence, and just be fearless, and just know that you're amazing and worthy, and just everything that the world has tried to tell you, or even what you tried to tell yourself. So be blessed. I have to go back to work. I have to figure out how to get this wet stain off my pants, and and then I'm just gonna have a great and prosperous day, and I hope the same for you all as well. So I'll be back next Monday. Right now, I don't have a set time. Once you see this video, if you have a set time or a time frame that you would be like to be inspired, then let me know, and I'll post it around that time, or I'll get on at that time, and it will all work out. We'll be blessed, we'll be bountiful, and we are moving towards our dreams and our goals, and we're inspiring others. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.